Hey guys, Q&A time. This is part 10. If you have any questions for me, please do not put them in the comment below. I will put the link of the original question video in the link. You go there and then you ask your question there for me and I'll get to it. So these are older questions. I have approximately 5 to 10 questions here in this Q&A. So let's not waste any time. Question number 1 from Superboy. Are you French or Italian descent? I am French. My grandparents lived somewhere in Quebec. I'm in a small town that borders Quebec. So my French is French Canadian. I went to a French school. I learned English probably. My mom was a French teacher too, so I learned English late, man. It was like grade 5, grade 6. Exclusively in my household, it was French. That's what we spoke. We went to a French school. Watched TV in French, things like that. So my English is actually my secondary language. So that is my descendants. There's no Italian in me. I kind of have that Italian look just because of my dark complexion, but no. We got another question from Danumba1 Danumba. When you die, what would you want sprayed on you in the casket before burial? Wow. Okay. What fragrance would you want to be remembered by? Your life and experience. Okay. It's a little different. Kudos to you to be outside the box on the questions here. What would I like sprayed? Everybody would say Le Male, right? That's what my, the fragrance is attached to me as a reviewer. But I would like Jubilation 25 just because Juby it was just that fragrance that just is my holy grail, and that's what happened with Jubilation when it was first released. I don't know if many of you know this, but Jubilation, when it was first released, reviews of that fragrance was bad. You go online, and when it was first released, people were like, "What is this?" I immediately jumped on it and said, "This is the best release from the brand." That got me into Amouage. I smelled gold. I smelled silver. I did not like the brand until I smelled this fragrance, and I was like, this is the best thing ever. So that would be the fragrance, to be honest. I got some more questions here from Armin K. So hi, I got a few questions I'd like to ask you, so let's delve into those. It's got quite a few, 5 or 6 here, so I'll just tackle a few of them. Question 1, what is your best beginner's niche in your opinion? What I mean by this is not which one is the best smelling or crowd pleasing, but which one would be the most interesting and for not too much money. Okay, so starter, niche, doesn't have to be crowd pleaser and doesn't have to be the best smelling. Quite honestly, for your best bang for your buck, Serge Lutens is a great brand to start off with, branch off with. They're not too expensive. I really like that brand, especially if you like darker fragrances like I would. Uncle Serge does his thing. For the pricing, you can't beat it. Parfumerie Générale, another one. The lineup is so huge, and that's what I like about these brands. Serge Lutens, Parfumerie Générale, L'Artisan Parfumeur. These are all brands that have such a huge ratio of fragrances. There's gotta be one that you like. L'Artisan Parfumeur is a great starter pack. The pricing under $100. Really a great brand to really branch out into. Question 2, have you smelled YSL La Nuit de l'Homme Le Parfum? Yes, I own it. It's somewhere over here. It's actually right there. Review coming hopefully this year. Don't want to promise you anything. If yes, what is your general opinion on it? Le Parfum did not get as much fanfare as obviously the original La Nuit de l'Homme. When that one was released, I was super excited. A lot of people were excited. Whole hum reviews came out. I actually really like it. It's not a stunner like La Nuit, and La Nuit Intense is getting a lot of the spotlight, and Le Parfum is kind of getting lost in the whole scheme of things of La Nuit. But I really think it's a solid release. I really think it has more of a grown-up taste to it. To be honest, it has more kick to it. It's a little more daring, to be honest. I absolutely, not that I'm in love with it, but I really, really like it, and I think it should get a little more press than it is getting right now. What is the best smelling thing you've smelled, which is non-fragrance related? The immediate thing that comes to mind when you're saying that is food. It's just food. It just obviously when you smell it, it gets your senses going. So it's got to go with food. What are your other hobbies besides fragrances? I think I've tackled this before. I am into fashion, watches, sunglasses. I collect that, music. I got thousands of albums, movies, things like that. So I have quite a few hobbies. I like to cook too, barbecuing, smoking meats, things like that. So I got quite a few hobbies. What's your favorite movie and TV series? I think I tackled this before too. I'll just hit it up just a little quick. Favorite movies: Scarface, He Got Game, Training Day. I'm a huge Denzel fan. Training Day is probably my favorite movie of all time. I absolutely love Training Day. I don't know why, but I love it. I can keep watching that movie over and over again. TV series, I'm not a huge TV guy. I don't spend that much time in front of the television watching series like a lot of people do. I could probably put it on one hand on how many series I actually finished. But I'm currently watching Gold Rush Alaska. That is something that I actually started overseas. Somebody that I worked with absolutely loved the series I started, and I got hooked. And I'm in season 6 of that right now, and almost finishing it up. Actually, Stephanie, my wife, I got her into it. I was watching season 3. I watched season 1, 2 overseas, and then I wanted to finish it up, obviously at home, and started season 3. And Stephanie got into it. So that is the series I'm into right now. Going to somebody else's questions. JMO115 asks, why do you think the fragrance community is so small relative to popular hobbies? Where do you see the fragrance community in 10 years? That's a question. Yes. Okay, so why do I think the fragrance community is so small relative to popular hobbies? I don't think it's as small as you would think. The fragrance community, you look at base notes, it's huge. Base notes is huge. As far as our YouTube community, this thing's growing out of control now. You know, I was there when it was just like a small handful of us talking with each other. Now it's just a whole freaking community. There's even in this day and age, there's so many now on YouTube that I can't even keep up. There's some out there that I haven't even spoken to, and that's usually something that I pride myself in. You know, introduce myself, especially when they were first starting on the community. I really wanted to reach out, do shout outs, things like that. I kind of got busy. No excuses, but the community is so huge now. What was the second one? Where do I see the fragrance community in 10 years? Blossoming. I want to see more women reviewers. I'm actually shocked, a little appalled that there isn't any on YouTube right now that are, you know, compared to the men's section. This is not even freaking close. We need to step that up somehow, give away something. I want to start getting the women into it, and it's a little bit our fault too. You know, I want to start reviewing women's fragrances more and more. I have done a lot of unisex stuff, and I started doing, you know, Muglier's Angel or Lady Million, but I got to get more into, you know, the niche side of things for women and things like that, and just kind of look over the whole spectrum and get the women out there too. So I'm hoping to see the fragrance community blossom. 10 years from now, I will not be here doing videos. If I am, I'm crazy, guys. I'm reaching my first 10 years on YouTube with fragrance reviews. If I got to do another 10, what's going on here? But the passion's there, so I might still be there in 10 years. You never know. But I think good things are going to happen with the fragrance community in 10 years. I truly hope so. Last question from Wiley224. What was your motivation for posting videos on YouTube? This has been tackled quite a few times. I'm not going to go in huge detail, but my motivation was quite simple, guys. When I first started on YouTube, there was no full-fledged review on Le Male, my favorite fragrance of all time. If you typed in Le Male, imagine this. Something that popular, Le Male, had no reviews on YouTube. 1 million, no YouTube reviews. Pure malt. Well, again, some of these came out that year, but a lot of those fragrances, you go back to my channel, I was the first one reviewing a lot of these top sellers. It was nuts. There was nothing. Niche, forget about it. So what was my motivation? My motivation partly was I went on Base Notes, and I've said this story millions of times. Went on Base Notes, tried to introduce myself, try to get myself into it. I got heckled by a few guys on there. Really had like a bad vibe, and I'm like, what the? This is a community. What are you guys doing? So I go on YouTube, and there's Tim Sweatkoff. There's a bunch of them doing videos, and I'm like, these guys, you know, this I can do. Just give me a camera. I didn't even have a camera. I had my MacBook. My MacBook was what I was doing my videos on the couch there. My first few videos on the couch, that was just a MacBook right in front of me and just doing the videos. So my motivation was to get this thing as a community, what it is now. Like, my job's done. Like, I don't even have to do any more videos. I'm happy now. You know, the community's here. You know, I've stepped back quite a bit. I'm not the force that I used to be as far as videos and try to interact and things like that. I just don't have the time personally, but I grin from ear to ear when I sign in on YouTube. I still look at all the comments on my channel, but just seeing the new generations, and we went through several generations right now of reviewers personally, and it's beautiful to watch it, seeing it blossom. I seen it when it first started and seeing it now, and it's really an amazing thing. So my motivation back then, get as many videos as I can to get this thing going. You know, get, you know, Base Notes on YouTube. You know, somebody wants to look at for a fragrance, they'll type it in, and if they see only my mug, I started something. And that was my motivation. And the thing is, I wanted it to be community based. And, you know, I reached out to Tim. I reached out to Cubby, Katie Puckrick. I was reaching out to them. I was doing, you know, Fragrance Idol to get, you know, giving out fragrances. And this is not like no sponsors. This was out of my pocket, out of my own money. I bought fragrances. You know, I bought Green Irish Treed to get people going. I got Dan into this game, and he's just a beast in this game now. He's just, so much respect to him, and he's still doing it. And I did like 3 or 4 fragrance idols, and I absolutely loved that time, and I wouldn't take it back. I love it. This is a huge part of my life, but yeah, that was my motivation, just to get it going, and I did my part. So thanks guys for this Q&A. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I don't want it to go too long, but thanks for all your questions. Hopefully we'll get a Q&A part 11 here. I got to get to all your questions. Some of these are several months old, so I'm going to get to them all. If you do want to ask me a question, go to that video and post a question, and I'll get to it. I promise you I'll get to it. Thank you for all your support again. It's truly appreciated. I love waking up in the morning, and you know, my video has like 40 likes or whatever, and there's like 10 new comments. I truly appreciate it. Thanks, guys.